Hello all, welcome to Broadcasting and Streaming Technique session. This is Dr. Sakimuthu. We are discussing about terrestrial transmission of digital television signal DVB-T. So in this today we are going to see about DVB-T carriers. The DVB-T carriers, we will discuss about it. In DVB-T, an IFFT with the 2048 or 8192 points is used. In theory, 2048 or 8192 carriers would then be available for the data transmission. However, not all of these carriers are used as a payload carriers. In the 8K mode, there are 6048 payload carriers, and in the 2K mode, there are 1512 carriers, payload carriers. The 8K mode this has exactly 4 times as many payload carriers as the 2K mode. But since the symbol rate is higher by a factor of exactly 4 in the 2K mode, both the modes will always have the same data rate given the same condition of transmission. The DVB-T contains the following type of carriers. There are different carriers. I'll tell you about one by one. Inactive carriers with a fixed position set to 0 amplitude. That is first one. Second one is payload carriers with a fixed position. Third one is continual pilots with a fixed position. Fourth one is scattered pilots with a changing position in the spectrum. Fifth one is DPS carriers with a fixed position. The meaning of the words payload carrier is clear. These are simply the carriers used for the actual data transmission. The edge carriers at the upper and lower channel edge are set to 0. That is, they are inactive and carry no modulation at all. That is, their amplitudes are 0. The continual pilots are located on the real axis. That is I. That is in phase axis. Either at 0 degree or at a 180 degree. And have a defined amplitude. The continual pilots are boosted by 3 dB compared with the average signal power, and they are used in the receiver as phase reference and for automatic frequency control. That is for locking the received frequency to the transmit frequency. The scattered pilots are scattered over the entire spectrum of the DVB-T channel, from symbol to symbol, and virtually constitute a sweep signal for the channel estimation. Within each symbol, there is a scattered pilot every 12th carrier. Look at the figure. Each scattered pilot jumps forward by 3 carrier positions in the next symbol. That is, in each case, 2 intermediate payload carriers will never become a scattered pilot, whereas those at every 3rd position in the spectrum are sometimes payload carriers and sometimes scattered pilots. The scattered pilots are also on the I-axis at 0 degree and 180 degree and have the same amplitude as the continual pilots. The TPS carriers are located at a fixed frequency positions. For example, carrier number 50 is a TPS carrier. TPS stands for Transmission Parameter Signaling. These carriers represents virtually a fast information channel via which the transmitter informs the receiver about the current transmission parameters. They are DBPSK, that is differential biphase shift keying modulated. So they are DPSK modulated and they are located on the I-axis either at 0 degree or at 180 degrees. They are differentially coded. That is, the information is contained in the difference between one and the next symbol. All the TPS carriers in one symbol carry the same information. That is, they are all either at 0 degree or all at 180 degrees on the I-axis. At the receiving end, the correct TPS carrier position of 0 degrees or 180 degrees is then determined by majority voting for each symbol, and this is then used for the demodulation. DBPSK means a 0 is transmitted when the state of the TPS carrier changes from one symbol to the next, and 1 if the TPS carrier phase does not change from one symbol to next. If it changes, 0 will be transmitted. If it is not changing, 1 will be transmitted. The complete TPS information is broadcast over 68 symbols and comprises 67 bits. This segment over 68 symbols, is called a frame. And the scattered pilots within this frame also jump over the DVB-T channel from the start of the channel right to the end of the channel. 17 of these 68 TPS bits, there are 68 TPS bits, right? Out of that 68, 17 are used for initialization and synchronization. 13 bits are used for error protection. 22 bits are used for, at this present moment we are using 22 bits. And 13 bits are reserved for future applications. So look at the table number 20.1. This table 1 explains how the TPS carriers are utilized. Thus, the TPS carriers keep the receiver informed about, there are 5 parameters. It will inform about mode, whether it is a 2K or 8K. Second one is length of the guard interval. It is 1/4 or 1/8 or 1/16 or 1/32. Third one is type of modulation, whether it is a QPSK or 16 QAM or 64 QAM. And fourth point is code rate. Is it 1/2 or 2/3 or 3/4 or 5/6 or 7/8? Last point, fifth point is use of hierarchical coding. So the TPS carriers will inform the receiver about mode, length of guard interval, type of modulation, code rate, and use of hierarchical coding. So, however, the receiver should have already determined the mode, whether it is 2K or 8K, and the length of the guard interval, which are thus actually meaning less than TPS information. Look at figure number 3. In figure number 3, the position of the pilots and the TPS carriers can be seen clearly in the 64 QAM constellation diagram. The two outer points on the y-axis corresponds to the position of the continual pilots and the scattered pilots. The two inner points on the y-axis are the TPS carriers. So two outer points are the position of the continual pilots and scattered pilots. The inner points are TPS carriers. The position of the continual pilots and of the TPS carriers in the spectrum can be seen from table 2 and table 3. In these tables, the carrier numbers are listed at which the continual pilots and the TPS carriers can be found. Counting begins at carrier number 0, which is the first non-zero carrier at the beginning of the channel. The various types of carriers used in DVB-T are now briefly summarized here. Of the 2048 carriers in the 2K mode, only 1705 carriers are used and all others are set to 0. Within these 1705 carriers, there are 1512 payload carriers which can be QPSK, 16 QAM or 64 QAM modulated. 142 those are scattered pilots, 45 continual pilots, and 17 are TPS carriers. So out of 1705, 1512 is payload carriers, 142 for scattered pilots, 45 for continual pilots, 17 for TPS carriers. Some of the scattered pilots occasionally coincide with the position of continual pilots, which is why the number 132 should be used for calculating the actual payload carriers in the case of scattered pilots in 2K mode. The conditions in the 8K mode are comparable. Here too, not all the 8,192 carriers are being used, but only 6,817 are used, of which in turn only 6,048 are actual payload carriers. The rest are now 568 are scattered payloads, 177 are continual payloads, and 68 for TPS carriers. As before, the number 524 must be used for scattered payloads in calculating the payload carriers, since sometimes the scattered payloads will coincide with the continual payload. Every 12th carrier in a symbol is a scattered payload. It is then easy to calculate the number of scattered payloads by dividing the number of carriers actually used by 12. 170 by 12 will become 142. 6817 divided by 12 will become 568. It is easy to calculate the scattered payloads. The payload carriers are either QPSK, 16 QAM or 64 QAM modulated and transmit that error protected MPEG-2 transport stream. Look at figure number 6. Figure number 6. Figure number 6 shows the constellation diagram for QPSK, 16 QAM and 64 QAM with the position of the spectral carriers in the case of non-hierarchical modulation. Let us discuss about hierarchical modulation in the next session.